In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the new dimension Photoshop action. You can use this action to create the effect you can see here, starting from an original image which looks like this. So basically, this is the original image, this is the result, and the action creates this result using a layer we define, which is our subject. So in this layer, which I call brush, I painted a silhouette of the subject in order for the action to recognize the subject in the background image. The result that the action produces is a group of layers, and it has other groups which have vast customization possibilities. As you can see, there are multiple layers using layer masks that we can brush to hide parts of the effects. There are multiple masks, and there are smart layers which allows us to adjust the effect, color options to change the color of the effects, and all these layers are grouped. Exterior elements, this group of 3 effects containing layers. So basically this is the compact structure of the action result. So in order to use this action, first we will have to load the action. So from the actions panel, make sure you have window actions enabled so you can see the actions panel. Click here, go to load actions, select the new dimension action, click load, and you have the action loaded. There are actually 2 actions, the main action and the color presets action. You can use this independently of the main action. You can use it on your own photos to generate 12 color presets. And we will have to load the brushes. The action creates all these elements based on our subject using brushes. So I will go to the brush tool, click here to load brushes, and load the new dimension brushes. Click on load. Now we have brushes loaded. Okay, so on the original image we have to make a layer called brush. I already made it. Initially, if you click on the new layer, the layer will be empty. You will have to name it brush with the capital B. Remember the capital B. The action looks for this layer. Okay, and in this layer you will have to brush. So I have the layer selected. You will have to brush the silhouette of the area of interest, the subject of the image. So using a default Photoshop brush, the round typical one with a bit of hardness. You can brush and mark the silhouette of the subject. It is a bit of work here, but depends on your skills. You can also use the magic wand tool, to select, in this case, the background of the image, and then invert the selection and keep the subject. But in most cases you probably will brush the silhouette of the subject and so on. You brush until you get, I'm going to delete this layer, get the silhouette as you want. The color doesn't matter. Okay, but when you brush, make sure that on the brush tool the opacity is set to 100%, the flow to 100%. Also, the background image, it's a JPG file that I opened. The image has to be, image mode RGB color on 8 bits per channel. So make sure you have this before running the action. Okay, so we have a background image, we have the brush layer, we have of course the action and the brushes loaded. I'm gonna click on the new dimension action and click on play. And now the action is working. It is generating the layers. So you can see the action working in real time. It is interacting with the layers, generating all the effects. It's almost ready. Okay, and this is it. So first you will notice probably the result won't look the way you want it to look in the end. This is because the action applies the effects to the entire subject, while you probably will want the effects to be applied on certain parts of the subject. So in this case, we also have the head of the character here. It is covered with the effects, but no need to fear. The action has selected by default this group containing a black mask and a round brush. We will have to paint right here using the white foreground color. We'll have to paint the area which we want to have the original look of the subject. So as you can see, there is a white area which I painted on the black mask. What is black is hidden, what is white is visible. So we have the head of the character visible without the effect, because there are three main effects which are covering our subject. These three. We also have a mask for the group containing the three effects and for the three effects individually. You may use the white mask with a black color. I'm gonna swipe the colors so you can brush the part of the subject which you want to have the effects hidden on this part. So see how it changes if we brush. I'm gonna click on undo. So I hid some of the effects here on this area of the foot, the leg, and I'm also have to use this group, the brush mask to hide subject, the mask here, to create a visually more appealing final effect by hiding part of the subject. So as you can see, by brushing on this mask, the brush mask to hide the subject, I hid a part of the subject and also the effects on this area. Maybe one the hand too. Okay, you'll notice there are many layers here. A lot of them have a black and white adjustment layer. You can disable this black and white to show the original color of this layer. There is an optional hue saturation adjustment that you can enable to add more intensity to the colors. So as you can see, I added some color from the subject on this diffuse area behind the subject. The subject diffuse background, which has a Gaussian blur smart filter, which we can adjust. Lowering will show us the subject. We want to keep it a bit blurred. Okay. We can also show some color to the head that we marked to view in the original state. The brush mask to reveal unaltered subject. There is also black and white adjustment that you can disable. So these are available in case you want to add some color to this effect, which is focused on a black and white look. So the three effects, notice how the result looks without the three effects. They are put in groups, each one having their own mask in case you want to hide a certain effect, not all of them, but a certain one, like effect 2 or 3. You can brush on this mask, or I mean with this mask selected, you can brush to hide part of the effect on that area. There is also in this group of layers showing the unaltered subject, which is good for faces and the place where you want the attention to be when looking upon the image. There are also some adjustment layers, such as the high pass reveal, which allows you to change how that area will look. There is also an edge enhance layer that shows you the edge of the subject. This is without. This is with. To better view, there are some lines here. I'm gonna hide the white lines. Okay, so notice how the effect looks in this case. And with the edge enhance, which is set to only 50% opacity, you can increase it or decrease it. The subject color overlay adds color to the subject, but this is useful when you have the rest of the effects shown in black and white. So you have the black and white enabled and you want to add color only to the area of the subject, not the diffuse background. So it adds some color. Notice how it looks on black and white. Maybe keep it with the diffuse background in color. Okay, so besides that, there are some of the other effects, the blue lines, the white lines, the particles. You can add some color to them also. There is the white area surrounding the subject. There are 3 light effects which have color customizations. So you can add whatever color you want here. And something I forgot to mention initially, the background color. You can put a background color that you want. And besides that, an optional subject background color, which is background color only for the area of the subject. So basically, this is it. Thank you very much for watching my tutorial.